Welcome to my channel Dalma Makes. This video is part of a series where I make potion bottles out of household waste. In this video, I'm going to transform a small vase and a spent nail polish bottle. The first project is a love potion. So I had this small vase that was a commemorative gift, and it had this emblem on it, enameled on, that I could just not get rid of. I tried scraping different substance, but nothing really worked. So I decided to cover it instead. I'm using a piece of transparent tissue paper just to trace the shape of the emblem that I need to cover. And I'm just going to cut this out to use it as a template for my actual label. I have a printout of a love potion that is a bit too large, so I'm strategically tracing around the template that I just made, and it's going to include the title, a little bit of that edge filigree, and the first few verses of the incantation that goes with the potion. Tracing it with the tissue paper really helped, as it would be very hard to make a shape that fits perfectly around the curved surface. To age the label a little bit, I just used a few inks, and I just glued it on with some air dry resin, as this is a glass surface and other adhesives might peel off. Because this is clear glass, I thought this would be a really good chance to actually fill it with a mysterious liquid. So I'm just mixing a little bit of a red acrylic paint with some water, and then added a bunch of metallic paint to it. As diluted as it is, it breaks down the binder, and all of those microscopic pieces of glitter become free floating and swirling in the liquid. The swirling was beautiful, but I wanted to have some actual chunky glitter in it, so I added some kids' craft paint with larger gold glitter in it. Bronze paint I used also tinted the water a little bit, so it's not just straight up red. Instead, it's kind of like a nice warm peachy tone. I thought having some inclusions would be also really cool. I picked out the red beads from this mixed bag that I have, and I'm just going to put them in the liquid. As they are plastic, nothing's going to happen to them if they are submerged in a water solution. I added those to the bottle and my prepared liquid as well. I kept stirring to make sure that the glitter chunks from the bottom actually ended up in the potion bottle. This way, when I shake it, all of those flecks of glitter just swirl around in this beautiful liquid. Of course, I have to seal this to make sure it doesn't leak. So I just stuffed a piece of cork in there as tight as it would go. I also have this beautiful swirly marble that I'm going to use as a fake stopper. And I used more of that air dry resin to attach it. This needed quite a few hours, if not even like half a day, to cure, but it becomes transparent and it kind of disappears. And that is it. That is how I made my very own homemade love potion. I love letting it settle and then shake it up to see those swirls of beautiful glitter in it. And also having those beads inside, they make a little clinking noise when you shake the bottle, and you can sometimes see them when they fall against the glass. And I'm glad to have had a way to repurpose this small vase that I would have never used otherwise and wouldn't have displayed it with the original emblem on it. For the second project in this video, I'm going to repurpose a fairly standard nail polish bottle. I cleaned it out the best as I could, but it is a little bit stained, but that's not a problem. To cap it off, I thought I'd use this miniature dollhouse bowl, as it was just the right size, and I wanted to add this sun charm to the top of that. This little dollhouse bowl is kind of like a shiny plastic, and acrylic paint really likes to peel off of that, so I'm going to rough up the plastic by sanding it a little. I'm also going to remove the jump ring part of the charm, as I won't need that, and I also sand away the roughness that created. I'll use some air dry resin to combine those two pieces as well. After that's fully set, I moved on to painting, and I used a really dark forest green as a base coat, and I went over the plastic cap as well as the solar charm, basically unifying the two objects into one. Before I seal it shut though, I want to fill this little nail polish bottle with some crystal chips. This is some citrine, probably heat treated amethyst, but it's really beautiful, and I'm always trying to find creative uses for crystal chips. To decorate the front a little bit, but not obscure much of the crystal chips, I'm just going to apply a sticker. This has a transparent background, and it's just an image of some sprigs of leaves that I think can work as a label. Like maybe in this fantasy scenario, the crystal chips are actually crystallized resin that I extracted from a certain medicinal plant. To secure the cap to the bottle, I'm just going to use some hot glue to start with, and I'm also going to wrap a little bit of yarn around the neck, actually all the way up to the sun. This way that bowl shape is going to be covered, but that's how sometimes projects go. You think you're gonna do one thing, but another ends up being a better solution while you're crafting. To make the fibers of the yarn less absorbent, I'm going to put a layer of gel matte medium over it and let it dry for a few hours. And then I go back with the same dark forest green and base coat it again. When that's dry, I add a very light sage green over the threaded parts. That sage green matches the greenery on the label, and I added just some metallic gold to the sun on top. And that's it, a transformation has occurred. Something that would have been discarded for sure receives a second life. I don't even think most of these bottles get recycled because of the dried up nail polish in it and the cap. I don't think people would bother to clean it out and recycle it. This one, however, is going to have its second life as a decoration on my shelf, and it's probably going to be used as a prop in a game at some point. Please enjoy the glamour shots, and do let me know in the comments what you think about these two upcycling projects. I always love to hear your thoughts. If you'd like to see more of what I make, please do subscribe. I do post a new video every week. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a nice day. Bye.